It's time for stats, it's time for superstars, it's time for Team of the Week for round number 4 of the Global Rugby Challenge. Hello everyone and welcome along to another episode and another Team of the Week for this 4th round of the competition. Plenty to talk about from this round and plenty of new stats as well. So we'll get straight into things. 4 rounds of the competition have departed and all 3 of our sides are still undefeated, having a great early run. A lot of them playing it a bit lucky, still, just hanging in to their winning streak on some occasions. Some really tight matches in round 4 as well, both for the Flakers and the Guardians as well. But we come here now to the Team of the Week, and we'll kick things off here with some stats. And as you guys suggested, you wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a stat for the tackle count coming in for round 4. So we've got a tackle count stat, we've got the meters gained, of course the try scorers and the point scorers from these first 4 rounds. So let's check out the new one straight off the whistle. That will be the tackle count, and we have a list coming your way right now. At the top of the tackle count is Marshall Hannah. 16 tackles successful for the flanker. He's been a massive part of the team already. Gubri Heads, someone who really is proving here that he's not the flashy man, but he gets down and dirty and does the hard yards in the rucks and the mauls as well. Gubri Heads, 15 tackles, equal with him as Lou Jones, a man who spent time in the forward pack and in the back line. He's on 15 as well. In 14, we have quite a few players here. Benjamin Grayson, Liam Robertson, Elliot Malpass and Dylan Davies all tied up on 14 successful tackles. Good chunk of them forwards as well. Owen Richards rounds out the table with 12 before we have a whole host of players sitting on 11. But that's good, a fly half to be up there with the most tackles from the 3 sides. So that is a tackle count. A new stat is the one we want to keep on. Let me know what you think. Second statistical piece of information, meters gained once again as of last week. Now the board has had a bit of a change up here. We've got a new man at the top of the leaderboard. Aiden Adeleke Solomon leads the way, the only player over 200 metres. He is on 204. Jonathan Craneen sits second with 195. Logan Banks is still there, 194. Elliot Malpass sits in 4th, really making his way as a key player is Malpass with 170. Lou Jones once again 165. Benji Cook 154. One bag. Morgan Uche had a fantastic round 4, is on 153, and then Owen Richards is on 151. All players very close here as we see Kieran Jones is there on 149, and Ruby Floyd rounds out the leaderboard for meters gained on 146. So those are a little taste teaser of things to come, but the big ones are the point scorers and the try scorers. So let's have a look at the top try scorers so far in the competition, and really there's one man who has had 2 matches and scored 2 doubles. Logan Priest leads the way for try scorers. Behind him, Ruby Floyd with 3, Jonathan Craneen and Will Rogers also tied up for second with 3 tries. There's a number of players on 2 as well that just sneak into the leaderboard. David Sloan, Pierre Valentine, Kieran Jones, Aiden Adeleke, Solomon round out the top try scorers after 4 rounds of the Global Rugby Challenge. But the big one here is the top point scorers, and again there's been a few changes to this one as well, with some players getting some run-ons in the last round. Jonathan Craneen still leads the way, though, of 28. Logan Priest, the highest point scorer not to kick a goal, sits second on 20. David Sloan is on 18, and Douglas Eddington is on 16, and possibly in line for a start in round number 5 as well. A good chance for him to make his way up that leaderboard. Ruby Floyd is there with Will Rogers, 3 tries and 15 points for those two. Riley Crosan, he's done a bit of kicking in his time to get himself up to 15 points as well. Then we have Morgan Uche, some kicks and some tries for him. He sits on 12. A number of players here on 10, Pierre Valentine, Lou Jones, Benji Cook, Aidan Adeleke, Solomon and Kieran Jones rounding out the top points scorers. So that's the stats, that's the interesting build-up, but now it's the big one, what you've all been waiting for. It is the Team of the Week for round number 4. Who's going to make it this week? It was a very, very tough week to pick, especially in the forwards, I thought as well. Very, very big decision making going on, but I have come to a decision, I have come to a conclusion, and this is the starting 15 for the Team of the Week. Kicking things off in the front row, and this was possibly the hardest call to make with no massive standouts, but I think collectively this front row unit as a team has earned themselves a position of 1, 2 and 3. The 2 props and the hooker will be rolling on in now, and it's none other than Mike Hunt, Maximus Wilder and Luke de Normanville, the 3 front rowers who started up for the Guardians of the Crib in round number 4. It was a toss-up, but I think these 3 were the most impactful. You see the likes of Mike Hunt and de Normanville, and Wilder for that matter, were really involved in general play. First men to hit rucks were those 3, and that was a key component to winning that match. It's a really tough one to call. No massive standouts, but I think general play around the field has to go to those 3 in the front row. Into the second row, and I think these are 2 players who missed out in round 3 on a starting spot, but returned in round 4 and made their impact instantly known, and that goes to Joshua Hetherington and Ivan Ferryland, who will be locking down behind that front row. 2 players who have made impacts in the past, had a week off, and really were noticeable when they returned to their respective sides. Into the back row now, and there's little question about the man who starts a blindside, which will be Hamish Reeve. A fantastic little player, performs so well every time he's given a chance. He is a key component to the side. Alongside him will be Connor Beck, returning from injury. Again, I think he's built well. He's had a good fist of things here, and open sides weren't particularly dominant for this week's rounds of games, but I think Connor Beck was solid, didn't make mistakes, and really was consistent throughout his matchup. At number 8 will be Brett Hartley once again, and we've seen him here a couple of times already, but it's just, once again, the solidness, the strong running, and good defence as well of Hartley that got him in the Team of the Week for lack of a real outstanding impact from number 8. He makes his way to complete the forward pack for the Team of the Week. A good forward pack as well, more down to the core roles of a forward pack more than the open backline plays that we're normally used to seeing from our forwards as well. A number of these players definitely defended very well. They got in the rucks very well as well and got ruck turnovers, which is key, and their distribution throughout the backs was important as well. We've seen Wilder, the hooker, very much involved with distributing through the centres where he shouldn't have been, but he caught and he passed like you'd expect. We move into the back line, and this is where some real keys come into play, and I think this is where a couple of players were unlucky to miss out. We'll start with the scrum half, and that one will go to Tom Jones. Quick around the field, always keen to give a quick song of encouragement to his teammates as well, which is always got to be good to have Tom Jones chirping a tune from the back of a ruck or a scrum. That's got to boost the morale of the side. He was a good, consistent player as well. No scrum half stood out completely, but Tom Jones played well, was fast around the ruck and around the ball. He was good off a couple of little runs he had as well, and that just snuck him in to Team of the Week. Into the fly half, and I think there was very little question about this one. Jake Waller was fantastic in his match. Didn't score any points for that matter, but He very much dictated the play. He was great running with ball in hand. He found his outside players in space as well, which was so important to the success of his side to get the victory they did. He wasn't, the shining light as far as the solo game runner. He did a very good team work with his outside men as well. I think Waller was a great option at 10 and something that they'll have to look for in the future as well if he's going to make another appearance there. He controlled his backline very well from number 10 jumper into the centres, and this is where one of the 50-50s had to come in. In the end, I've gone with Morgan Uche and Mitchell Otley. Otley had to be there. He just dominated so convincingly for his first chance in the backline, and he has to be there. The other spot was a real 50-50 call between Morgan Uche and Heston Gardner. Both were very good in tough matches as well. I think Uche's contribution towards points as well as his goal kicking and the amount of line breaks he made in that match puts him just above Gardner, who was equally as sensational as well. Now we go to the two wingers, and this is an interesting one because we have two men on the wings with the same name. On the left side will be Omar Solomon. He's lucky to be there, but I think it's his defence that won him this position in the end. How many try-saving tackles and try-saving kicks away did Omar Solomon make for his side? They were so important, crucially important. It's easy to commend a player for his attacking play as well, like Logan Priest, 2 tries. It's hard to leave out someone who got 2 tries in the match as well, but he's just missed out to Solomon, who was just that good around the field defensively and as part of his unit to get his team out of trouble when they really needed it and still be a threat on attack as well. But on the right-hand side, it will be Aiden Adeleke Solomon. So the two Solomons will be on the wings. A big fan of Aiden Adeleke Solomon. Apart from his fantastic name, he is a good winger as well. Good finishing, got himself some points on the board as well, and was a consistent threat to the defence all match long. One position left, and that is for, of course, the fullback. This week, I'm going with Sean Uren. He was solid at the back, like people have mentioned. It is hard for a fullback to really influence the match too much, apart from possibly a couple of running chances, but I think Uren was very good defensively. He covered his line a couple of times, covered his kicks very well and returned the ball with it. Just didn't get in too much trouble and always seemed to have a way out when it mattered. It's hard to really pick a fullback when all 3 sides' fullbacks didn't really impact the game too much. But all in all, that will be my top 15, my team of the week for round number 4. What was your team of the week? Anyone that you think should have been in that 15 that was left out? Of course, we will have the matches for round 5 coming up again very soon, so stick around and stay tuned for that. Remember to leave who you think should be in the team of the week for each and every week from each and every side as well. It makes my choices a little bit easier if you guys think someone should be there for sure, as we've seen big votes up here for Hamish Reid and in the back line Mitchell Oatley, and it will be Mitchell Oatley that will be my player of the week as well. He was just that much of a standout. I did forget to mention that while we're going through his name, but it is Mitchell Oatley, player of the week. What a week it was. One big win, 2 very, very close wins as well. How will these 3 sides go when they meet? That is what is really going to decide who tops the table, the minor premiers. I think all 3 sides should easily make it into the top 6, but it's going to come down to when they clash. It's going to be epic, it's going to be huge, and the banter is going to be unreal. I hope you'll all stick around for that. That is round 7, the first of the 2 head-to-head clashes. We just have a couple of rounds to go, and it is all on for young and old. We will be back in. I'll be back very soon for the first match of round 5. So stick around for that. Let me know what you think of the team of the week. And of course, like always, I will see you all next time. Wherever we may end up, team of the week for round 4 is complete. and I'll see you all next time. Take care.